Hello?
Susan, it's...
You're watching Fox Sports New York.
The Mets take the field here at Shea Stadium in New York for Game 2 of their twilight doubleheader with the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm Howie Rose along with Fran Healy and Matt Loughlin. Glad you're with us here on Fox Sports New York and hope you enjoyed Game 1 as the Cardinals won the opener 2-0. Our umpire lineups tonight for Game 2 brought to you by NAM, National Arbitration and Mediation, the most timely, cost-effective way to settle your legal disputes. And Bill Hahn now will go behind the plate with Randy Marsh at first, Paul Nowert at second, and Angel Hernandez, the umpire, at third. So let's take a look at the Cardinals lineup for Game 2. Just as Bobby Valentine will make some changes for the Mets, so has Tony La Russa for the Cardinals. We talked about Pat Kelly in the opener. He will start at second in place of DeShields. Brian Jordan, who had the game-winning home run, technically, in the opener, followed by McGuire, who hit number 50 right afterwards. Ray Langford in the cleanup spot. John Mabry had Game 1 off. He's in left field. Fernando Tatis, playing both ends of the doubleheader, is at third with Eli Marrero, the catcher. Darren Oliver, a southpaw, will do the pitching, and Placido Polanco will be the shortstop, batting ninth. And for the Mets, Rick Reed will go after his 15th win of the year.
And he's been one of the best pitchers in the National League. He is certainly, along with Al Leiter, led the charge for the Mets this year. The Mets need Rick Reed to stop the Cardinals in the second game of this twin bill. You see his numbers, 122 strikeouts and 169 in the third innings. But once again, it's up to Rick Reed to step forward and be the stopper.
He has won his last 3 starts for the Mets. And he and Al Leiter, basically, you take your pick. Which one is the ace? You got a left-handed ace in Leiter and Rick Reed, who has a chance here at a 20-win season. Certainly the right-handed ace of the Mets staff. And even though Willie Blair wound up taking the loss in the opener, he did an outstanding job. In fact, he'd retired 15 straight until giving up the back-to-back homers to Brian Jordan and Mark McGuire. Blair wound up taking his 16th loss of the year, and there are the two guys who provided the offense for the Redbirds. So McGuire 11 from tying Maris, 12 from breaking the all-time single-season record. Still some sunlight here at Shea as we get set for the start of Game 2. Pat Kelly in to lead off, and he takes or goes after the first pitch and fouls it back.
Talk about Tony La Russa, how high he is on Pat Kelly. He liked him when he was a Yankee, and Kelly experienced some injuries, some serious injuries, but he's back. And La Russa would love to have him as a member of the Cardinals for a long time.
Reed hits the outside corner, 0-2 to Pat Kelly. Kelly was hitting .280 at Syracuse in AAA when the Cardinals brought him to the big club. And Reed misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Oh, he talked about how Bobby Valentine likes to rest his catcher if he catches one game. Well, Mike Piazza doing it catching in the second game. Tough decision to rest his bat.
And that's in there for a call, strike 3.
I'll tell you, Pat Kelly has a legitimate complaint.
Well, again, it's all about the target, as you've explained so often.
It's amazing how the target dictates now rather than the plate. Watch this. Look where the target is. This target's off the plate. Boom, hits the target. See you later.
Well, you know what, too, and I mean, listen, Pat Kelly's had relatively few at-bats this year, but Rick Reed's control is as good as anybody's in baseball, and that is going to enable him to steal more than just the occasional call. So here's Brian Jordan. And Reed with a little goaltending, a glove save, and thank God, he says. 2 men away.
Rick Reed exhaling, but looked extremely relaxed when this ball was hit right back at him. Watch him catch his ball. No big deal, although he did pull his head. Oh, I would never want to be a pitcher for this reason. Take a look at it from our chase cam. A bullet right back at him. Look at that play. His glove. That's a great shot. I don't blame you, Rick.
Rick Reed still has not stepped onto the mound. He's still, I mean, listen, he's got to get that out of the way and now deal with McGuire. You'd think it's a piece of cake pitching in the big leagues, no matter how good you are. Well, 50 is in the bank.
Now,
outside, 1-0.
How about the pitch on Kelly that was called a strike, and that's called a ball?
Yes, that's the difference between Mark McGuire and Pat Kelly. No disrespect meant, of course, to Kelly. High, 2-0.
Well, defensively for the Mets, you see Alfonso Ordonez, Baerga, and Olerud. In the infield, Phillips, McRae, Allensworth in the outfield, Piazza behind the plate. Baerga and Olerud did not start in Game 1.
Breaking ball is on the outside corner, 2-1 to Mark McGuire.
Well, Rick Reed likes to pitch down, and Mark McGuire likes that ball down.
Well, 2-2.
Down and in.
If there was any doubt that baseball is in full recovery, Mark McGuire has proven it tonight here at Shea Stadium.
That's a cute sign light right there. He scratched out Dad, put Mom on. She's turning 52.
Wow. Just missed. So a full count now to McGuire.
Well, look at this. Hit the target. Target's off the plate.
It'll be a payoff pitch. Deep to left field. Down the line. Number 51. McGuire bangs one off the foul pole, and it's 1-0 Cardinals. And for Mark McGuire, mark another one off. Maris -10 to tie and 11 to break.
Listen to this New York crowd.
That's 4 in 2 days now for McGuire, who homered twice at Wrigley Field yesterday. 51 home runs, and it's August the 20th. Ray Langford takes outside.
Did you notice the difference in his animation with 50 and 51? Here's 51. He clobbers this ball. Talking it fair. Stay fair. And he quietly goes around the bases.
Langford pops up. Ray Ordonez drifting back, waving off Tony Phillips. And the side retired. Well, Rick Reed gave up his 400th. Mark McGuire's 400th. And now everybody wants to get a shot at number 51. The flash bulbs pop. So does the foul pole. At third. John Olerud only pinch hit in the opener. He's at first. Piazza playing both ends in the cleanup spot. Brian McRae in center. Jermaine Allensworth again with a left-hander on.
Wakefield to count down to history. Now he needs 11. And watch the flash balls. What a sight. And the fans here in New York really treating McGuire with the respect of a superstar that he deserves. Quite a response to home run number 51.
Well, clearly Mark McGuire has transcended the game, because although there are well over 40,000 people at Shea Stadium, I think it's safe to assume that the vast majority of these people want the Mets to win.
Absolutely.
And yet McGuire's home run in the first game made it 2-0. The second of back-to-back home runs as Phillips takes a strike, and the fans gave him a standing O because they recognized that they were in on some history. The first man ever to hit 50 home runs in 3 straight seasons. And another great ovation for McGuire, who puts the Mets behind in the nightcap. That's what I mean about Mark McGuire transcending the game.
Well, Mark McGuire has helped the popularity of the game of baseball like Babe Ruth saved the game after the Black Sox.
Boy, you know, that's a great point when you look at how baseball had been so severely beaten in the wake of the labor problems in '94 and '95. But you know, you talk to people around the country, as we do, and they'll tell you that the interest in this game is pretty close to being all the way back, and Mark McGwire has to be the biggest single reason why.
Let's not forget,
Darren Oliver fields the comebacker and throws Phillips out, one man away.
Sammy Sosa in Chicago has made it very exciting. But the crowd here at Shea Stadium, boy, they showed some class. As Mark McGwire hit number 51, they were extremely excited about number 50. So was McGwire. He got more animated after his 50th, throwing that right arm up in the air and clapping his hands as he went around the bases. He was more subdued with 51.
0-1 to Alfonso. I mean, the best part of the whole spectacle is that it is pure baseball. There's not personality involved. There's not really any controversy per se involved. No ulterior motives or issues other than grassroots, hit it out of the yard baseball. And if anything can bring people back to a sport, and we've seen it this year, it's the long ball in baseball, and McGwire's provided it. 1-2 to Edgardo Alfonso. But of course, the Mets have some business to do here. Remember, they lost the opener. The Cubs won today. So the Mets now in a virtual tie with Chicago, although they have one less loss. Alfonso gives it a pretty good ride, but the park will hold it. And so does Langford. So 2 up and 2 down here in the first inning. Bobby Valentine, after the first game, was asked how he responded to the ovation that the fans gave McGwire. And Bobby responded with no comment. And I think Bobby was, again, without wanting to put words in his mouth, you know, too close to the outcome of the game. Remember, this team's in a wild card race.
That's right.
He can't, I wouldn't think, begrudge the fans for appreciating really a record moment in baseball history. McGwire hitting his 50th.
Yeah, but he's managing the Mets, as you mentioned, and he wants to win the ball game. If he won the game and McGwire hit a home run, he would have been more verbose about that historic moment.
Got to hand it to the fans. They've shown a great deal of class and support. Mark McGwire tonight.
And McGwire will be here for 2 games tomorrow.
The 0-2 to Olerud sits away.
And a defense for the Cardinals. Tatis, Polanco, Kelly, and McGwire in the infield. Mabry, Langford, and Jordan in the outfield. Marrero behind the plate.
Oliver just missed, and it's even now to Olerud. John now at .350 on the year.
Yeah, I don't blame Bobby Valentine for saying no comment, because I'm sure he's upset about losing the game. And when you're upset, you're going to say the wrong thing.
And the 2-2 pitch. The right side, Pat Kelly up with it. And the Mets go 1-2-3. Good start for Darren Oliver, the former Texas Ranger. Came over in that Todd Stottlemyre deal. We go to the second. McGwire's 51st has the Cardinals in front.
Having fun yet? Then get to the summer of fun and nobody beats the Wiz. Buy the fun stuff you want and get more fun stuff, like special offers, tickets to games, Madison Square Garden, Radio City Music Hall with select purchases. See newspaper for details. Nobody beats the Wiz, a Cablevision company.
It's out there waiting. And in all our years of experience, we've learned one thing. You're not the only one who depends on good brakes. With upfront pricing at Midas, we first perform a 45-point inspection to find what repairs are needed and what can wait, so you only pay what we quote you. Come into Midas today, because you never know what you might run into next.
A month ago, my son Charlie drew a family portrait. I was the one on the couch. That's when I started taking Ginsana, a natural supplement. Ginsana every day gives me energy that lasts. Clinical proof says the pure ginseng in Ginsana helps my body use oxygen better to keep my natural energy going. All I know is I can feel it. And with more energy to go around, there's more of me to go around.
Find the energy. Feel your Ginsana.
Never! You're watching Mets baseball on Fox Sports New York.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you in part by the new Dodge. It's about change. Well, the fans may be satisfied that Mark McGwire has done some big stuff, but most of these people won't go home happy unless the Mets can pull something out in the second game here. Even that guy.
He wants to see his Mets win. What's amazing, the excitement that the home run ball can bring to a ballpark.
John Mabry, who did not play the first game, fouls the first pitch off. Mabry kind of a Dave Magadan type. Will play some first base, some third base. Runs a little bit better than Magadan because the Cardinals will also use him in the outfield.
Usually hits around 300, although he's now hitting 265.
No balls, 2 strikes on John Mabry. Ron Gant, who's been struggling, not in either game tonight. And Reed delivers 0-2, and Mabry will take a seat. Second strikeout for Rick Reed, 1 man away.
Well, one thing Rick Reed will do, he'll throw strikes. He'll go right after the hitter. That's good ball movement. Ball starting inside and moving back over the corner of the plate.
So with 1 out, Fernando Tatis will be the batter. Tatis 0 for 3 in the opener. Reed misses away, 1-0. So the Cardinals unveiling their Texas tandem against the Mets in game 2. Tatis and their starting pitcher Darren Oliver. Todd Stottlemyre and Royce Clayton went to the Texas Rangers at the trade deadline.
Yeah, they feel they made a pretty good deal getting these young players, and it looks like Todd Stottlemyre might be going back to the Cardinals as a free agent because he can leave the Rangers after the season.
2-1 now to Tatis. Gary Gaetti, the former Cardinals third baseman, became expendable when Tatis was acquired. So Gaetti was released. He's now with the Cubs. And it's 3-1 on Tatis. That home run ball that he threw McGwire was an aberration for Reed. Pretty much bouncing ball. I mean, when you think of Rick Reed, you know, you think of ground balls and you think of a quick pace. He has given up more home runs lately. In fact, you look at how he started the season. His first dozen starts, he only gave up 4 home runs. On average, he's given up once a game, 1 a game over his last dozen now. 2 this year to McGwire, number 400 lifetime, and number 51 on the year. And the payoff pitch line down the left field line. So Tatis on his way to second as Phillips plays it back in, and it's a 1-out double for Fernando Tatis.
Tatis has a good swing. He has a home run hitter's follow through. Hit a home run in St. Louis against the Mets, and here he picks up a double off Rick Reed. Good ball movement, ball running in, and Tatis hitting the ball hard into left field. Another look. So look at him follow through. That's a home run hitter's follow through.
They expect him to be their third baseman for the next several years in St. Louis. And Tatis now in scoring position with 1 out, and Eli Marrero, the catcher, coming up. Marrero did not start the opener. Tom Lampkin caught it. And a strike on a fastball, 0-1.
Marrero, born in Cuba, raised in South Florida. Cardinals very high on him. Had a setback this year.
Yeah, major setback. He had a cancerous thyroid gland removed in March. But here he is back playing big league ball. And the breaking ball lined to left. In comes Phillips. He trapped it. Rounding third is Tatis, and now he falls down as Piazza runs him back towards the bag.
Boy, that was a good recovery by Phillips.
Really two good recoveries. One by Phillips and one by Tatis, because had he not fallen down, he might have been thrown out.
Watch Phillips. He traps this ball, but he falls down. Guerrero hitting the ball in the left field, and Phillips trying to shoestring catch. He's able to scoop the ball, and he comes up throwing. Tatis had rounded third and wisely put the brakes on and safely got back to third. Here's a shot at Tatis. He said, did he catch it? No, he didn't. Up. I better stop. You got to be young to stop like that and not kill yourself.
And agile.
Yes.
So Tatis, the runner at third now, with Marrero at first. And the pitcher, Darren Oliver, up. He and Rene Latchman making sure that they're together on the signs. Remember, Oliver's batting 8th in the order. Number 7 hitters normally don't get a whole lot to hit for the Cardinals, because for a month or so now, Tony La Russa has been batting as pitcher 8th. So how will the Mets play it here? Right now, at short and second, they're playing for 2. Will the Cardinals manager Tony La Russa have Oliver simply try to sacrifice Marrero into scoring position? And they had Marrero leaning. He just did get back. Cardinals leading 1-0. We're in the second. St. Louis won the opener 2-0. Off the outside corner, 1 ball, no strikes. Darren Oliver, of course, just over from the Texas Rangers, where pitchers didn't hit. He's 0 for 7 so far. If the squeeze is on, he's been told. And Rick Reed equally suspicious. Isn't it true, Fran, that if the squeeze, safety or suicide, is on, the third base coach will automatically tell the player? I mean, he'll go over there anyway.
A special signal. You know, he could say a particular word, and that would be the squeeze is on.
And it is suicide squeeze. Oliver missed the bunt, and now Tatis is trapped. Piazza runs him back, and he got back. So the Cardinals make out pretty well, because not only does Tatis get back to third on the blown rundown, but Eli Marrero moved up to second. It appeared to have backfired on Tony La Russa. Oliver missed the bunt.
And from the chase scan, you're going to see Oliver missing the squeeze. Tatis was coming down a line, and Mike Piazza chasing Tatis back. Did not release the ball, and Tatis is safe. So a negative turns into a positive for the Cardinals. Look at Tatis. Whoa.
Let's do the 101 stuff. Now, you're taught to run right at the runner, but when are you supposed to release the ball? At what point?
If Alfonso should have probably come up off the base some, and at the last moment, Alfonso starts towards the runner. You'll flip the ball to the third baseman, and he applies tag. It should be almost impossible to get out of a rundown. But Piazza ran him too far back to third base.
So now the infield has to move up, and Oliver is behind in the count with that swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And Mike Piazza just didn't pull the trigger in throwing the ball. I mean, he could have still gotten a runner even though Alfonso was on third. We were taught you run towards the runner. You run him back to the base he started from. The third baseman comes off the bag. He moves up. All of a sudden he yells, now. He's got 1 step. He's flipping the ball. It's almost impossible to get out of the rundown.
Piazza, by not throwing the ball, was unable to catch Tatis going back to third. Now runners at second and third. 1 and 2 to Oliver with the infield in. And Oliver is out. Called out as Rick Reed picks up his 3rd strikeout.
Well, you're going to see Mike Piazza running Tatis back to third base in the center field camera. Oliver misses the bunt. And Piazza puts the ball up and gives Alfonso a shot at looking at that ball, but didn't throw it. And Tatis gets back to third.
So would you assume that he was waiting for Alfonso to give him the verbal cue? I mean, you would think he simply...
It really doesn't. You can have a verbal cue, but you don't have to. As soon as that third baseman moves, give him the ball, or just get rid of the ball now. Tatis gets back to third. He just didn't pull the trigger.
No idea why. So here's Placido Polanco lining one. Phillips coming in, and he short-hopped it. Phillips thinks he's made a clean catch, but 2 runs score. It's a 2-run single for Placido Polanco. The Cardinals lead 3-0, and there's going to be an argument.
Angel Hernandez said the ball hit the ground first. And Bobby Valentine will argue the case.
Tough to get a clean look at that, of course, from a dugout level.
Well, you know, Tony Phillips is a pretty intense guy who can flip at an umpire in a heartbeat, and he didn't put up much of an argument. Our cameras will tell the truth. Did he trap it?
Second baseman, Kelly.
Good eyesight by Angel Hernandez. And initially, Phillips thought he caught the ball.
With 2 out, the runners were going on contact, so even if Phillips had come up throwing rather than arguing, chances are that Marrero would have scored from second anyway. But the Cardinals lead 3-0. Matt Kelly, the batter, he was caught looking his first time up, and he hits it hard. This one will hang for Phillips. So the Cardinals add a couple. There were 3 hits. They leave 1 middle of the second. That's Shea in game 2. After the Cardinals won the opener, they lead the nightcap.
Dodge wanted to take the sport utility concept to a higher level. Enter the new Durango. Its best-in-class power, cargo space, and seating for up to 8 raise the bar considerably, as do its strongest-in-class frame and its stable, longer, wider stance. Dodge Durango.
Thanks to Fuji and Genovese, taking photos of the Mets is as simple as 1, 2, 3. 1, you must have a Mets game day ticket. 2, bring a Genovese store receipt. 3, bring your camera. For tickets, call 718-507-TIXX.
Last of the second inning, Tony Phillips still thinks that he made a clean catch of that liner by Placido Polanco. It was ruled a trap and a 2-run single, and here's what happened in the dugout moments ago.
And Bobby Valentine, after talking to Tony Phillips, thinks that Tony caught the ball, but our cameras showed that he trapped the ball.
Mike Piazza leads off the home second and fouls the first pitch back from Darren Oliver. Piazza took a size 4 collar in the opener. A couple of strikeouts, hit it in the air twice. And the 0-1 on the outside corner. 1 no balls and 2 strikes to Piazza. One and 2. Piazza to be followed by Brian McRae and Jermaine Allensworth. That's outside. You might wonder now, how would they have ever met before? Well, interleague play last year. Piazza was with the Dodgers. National League West, played American League West. Darren Oliver won 13 games last year with the Rangers. And Piazza with a weak ground ball to second, 1 man away. Now the fans starting to ride Mike again. So 1 out. Brian McRae will be the batter. Piazza 0 for 5 in the doubleheader. Brian McRae was a spectator in game 1. The expression on Mike's face as Brian McRae takes a strike. You can excuse Piazza if he's thinking, now wait a minute, I was the toast of the town the last 2 nights. I'm 0 for 5 so far in a doubleheader, and now I'm getting booed.
1 swing of the bat turns that around.
1 ball, 1 strike. Well, if Mike thinks it's an imperfect fit, the recent reaction might be one of the big reasons.
But then last night there were signs all over the stadium. They wanted Mike Piazza to stay. He clearly brings a star quality to any team he plays for.
Well, this is what playing in this town's all about. Being able to deal with the adversity. McRae hits it well deep to right center. Langford has to play it off the wall. And Brian McRae has a 1-out double. Well, the Mets have their first hit off of Darren Oliver. And Jermaine Allensworth will be the batter. McRae gives it a good ride.
Well, McRae drives his ball a long way into right center field. And it hits off the fence. Ray Langford getting the ball back in, but McRae, who did not play in the first game, is on second base with a double.
So now it's Allensworth. Jermaine 0 for 4 in the opener and takes a strike from Darren Oliver. No balls, 1 strike. So Todd Hundley saw 1 game against left-hand pitching. Cardinals starting 2 southpaws tonight. And the 0-1. That evens the count. Allensworth now 3 for 14 as a New York Met. And a line drive, base hit to left field. McRae had a hold up, so he'll stop at third. And the Mets, with 2 straight hits now, have runners at the corners with 1 man out and Carlos Baerga coming up.
Well, Met fans have seen 2 home runs off the bat of Mark McGwire. It will not be a complete night if their Mets lose a doubleheader. The Mets now have runners on first and third for Baerga. The Mets trailing 3-zip here in the 2nd inning.
Baerga has seen Oliver over in the American League, and he hasn't had much success against him. Carlos only 2 hits and 11 times at bat against Darren Oliver. So the Mets now with a runner at third base for the first time today. In the opener, they did not get a runner any farther than second. So Cookie Rojas has company for the first time today. And the pitch to Baerga, taken inside, 1-0.
Against Oliver, 2 for 11. Of course, as you always say, Howie, should have been line drives.
I got that from a manager who didn't believe in the numbers. And Allensworth chased back to first. Let's have good speed on board here with McRae at third and Allensworth at first. Of course, Carlos Baerga is prone to the double play ground ball. Outside 2-0. Baerga's grounded into 18 double plays. Brett Boone, Vinny Castilla, and Jeff Cirillo each have grounded into 19. We'll see whether or not Bobby Valentine has a play on here. Cardinals infield looking for two. The outfield straight away. And the 2-0 pitch. Line to right field. Jordan coming on. Makes the catch. McRae's going to try it. Jordan's throw not in time.
And McRae wasn't sliding.
Sacrifice fly for Carlos Baerga, and the Cardinal lead is now 3-1. Well, plenty of baseball on Fox Sports New York. This is game 2 of a doubleheader, after which Baseball Thursday continues on Fox Sports New York. Tim Salmon of the Anaheim Angels continue their hunt for a playoff spot. They're facing the Tigers in Detroit. It's a 10 o'clock start immediately following our Mets doubleheader coverage, so obviously we, in all likelihood, will join that one in progress right here on Fox Sports New York. 4th inning, Eli Marrero in to lead off for the Cardinals. Marrero, Darren Oliver, Placido Polanco, the bottom third of the St. Louis batting order. And a fastball from Rick Reed, taken for a strike.
Oh, and Tom Pagnazzi was released by the Cardinals. It gives Marrero an opportunity to establish himself as an everyday catcher in the major leagues.
Checked the swing and fouled it off. That was Tony La Russa's plan going into the season, and unfortunately Marrero got sick and had the cancerous thyroid tumor removed, but he's regained full strength, and basically La Russa had only used Pagnazzi as a pinch hitter.
And Marrero had some real solid years in the home run and RBI departments in the minor leagues.
Busted him inside. It's 1-2. Rick Reed has allowed 6 hits and 4 runs, throwing a couple of home run balls. 1 to McGuire and 1 to Jordan. And the 1-2 delivery. Fastball fouled away. When Rick Reed is right, he'll get quite a few ground balls. So far tonight, he has not recorded an out on the ground. Got inside on Marrero. It's still 1-2. Reed throws that sinking fastball and a good curveball. And when his location is pretty good, they'll bat it into the ground. Marrero doesn't put that one anywhere, and Reed has his 5th strikeout. 1 out. Darren Oliver coming up, and this copyrighted telecast is authorized under television rights granted by the New York Mets solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Mets and Fox Sports New York is prohibited.
All those kids were very interested in watching this ball game. That guy right there, looking for the guy with the hot dogs. That beautiful young lady watching the game, a Met fan.
1-1 on Darren Oliver. Oliver was caught looking his first time up. And another fastball. It's 1-2. Oliver batting 8th, followed by Placido Polanco in Tony La Russa's batting order. And the breaking ball. Oliver's gone. 6 strikeouts now for Reed, including the last 3 in succession.
Oliver taking some rips. He saw that hanging breaking ball. He said, I'm going to take full advantage of it.
That's how you know he was an American League lifer. What the heck? No time to worry about mechanics I don't know about anyway. Just go up hacking.
A shot of Mark McGuire putting some eye drops in the eyes.
Well, he's been in everyone else's eyesight, so he's got to make sure his is just right.
The big word out of the press conference, if you get a chance to see it, he talked about adjustments he's made over the years. And Tony La Russa told me about that when we were in St. Louis. Made some huge adjustments. He said now he's a scout's dilemma. It used to be where he never thought about where a pitcher pitched him. Guy'd get him out, he'd get him out there again, but now they get him out. Next time up, he takes advantage of that pitch.
I think his biggest adjustment was in the bodybuilding department.
Yeah.
We showed you his first major league homer last week, and relatively speaking, he was a string bean. Relatively speaking, of course. Rick Reed has struck out the side as he gets Polanco on a breaking ball. So Reed has now struck out 4 in a row. He has 7 through the first 4 innings. However, the Cardinals, who won the opener 2-0, lead this one 4-1.
Rise and shine.
Fox Sports News brings you the fastest half hour of sports power. Fox Sports News this morning. Woo! With highlights and scores, plus our up-to-the-minute Fox Sports News ticker with all the latest breaking stories every half hour.
Hot off the grill. We are cooking.
Got 30 minutes? We've got your sports. Fox Sports News this morning. Weekdays starting at 6.
Oh, there's the fire in my brain. Stabbing me. Agony. I can't stand this torture, this torment. I can't stand it. I won't.
Call Tri-State at 1-800-JOIN-NOW.
Why is America on America Online?
America Online is the internet. Email is the best.
No more computer mumbo jumbo.
I send instant messages.
Type in the keyword, boom, you're there.
AOL now offers more benefits than ever. And now check out Digital City at Keyword New York. It's the complete guide to New York. I get local news, local events,
local weather. It's incredibly easy.
AOL has parental controls.
24-hour customer service. If I can do it, anyone can.
America Online, so easy to use, no wonder it's #1.
Brad Good, Lionel Bienvenu, Fox Sports News, weeknights. Check local listings.
Last of the 4th inning, let's look at our Aflac trivia question for Game 2, and it concerns Mr. Olerud. Last met with more than 150 hits. Your assignment, should you choose to accept it. Throw the answer up in short order.
I don't want you going through those Elias notes either.
Well, no, I'll tell you, I know this stuff.
Man.
The guy who we're looking for had a similarly quiet disposition to that of John Olerud's, but John is much more cheery.
Yeah, and he has more power.
Yeah, more power. I mean, John's just a more pleasant guy to be around than the fellow we're referring to, and we'll find out who that is later. And John Olerud with his first base hit. 1 for 2 now for the league's leading hitter, who was at 350 before that last swing of the bat. So the Mets have the leadoff man on here in the 4th inning, trailing by 3, and Piazza's coming up. Piazza grounded to second after taking an 0 for 4 in the opener. Mets now with 4 hits off of Oliver. And a high fly ball. You can forget about this one. Piazza puts one over the bullpen. A 2-run homer. It's 4-3 St. Louis.
Dave Duncan coming out of the Cardinal dugout, but Mike Piazza brought the fans to their feet here at Shea Stadium with a long drive over the back fence. Watch this. Wham! He knew it was gone. Mark McGuire had to admire that one. This ball's crushed off the bat of Mike Piazza. And the fans went wild here at Shea.
That went over the back wall to the bullpen, well over 400 feet away. We'll wait for the closest thing we have to the official distance on Piazza's 22nd of the year.
Matt Lachlan.
That's right. He's going to walk it off. We'll have the answer for you Saturday. So Piazza brings the Mets to within 1 here in game 2. Dave Duncan thinks he settled his pitcher down. Let's see. Ryan McRae takes off the outside corner. 1-0. McRae doubled and scored a run in the second. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bryant.
Well, the fans came out for some long home runs. They have gotten long home runs here tonight.
Well, the estimate on Mike Piazza's 464 feet.
That's quick.
And a line drive and a great snag by Tatis. What a circle around that one as Brian McRae is robbed by Fernando Tatis.
McRae hammers this ball. Good reaction. It's a reaction position. Very good reaction by Tatis, taking a hit away from Brian McRae. You don't have to worry about range at third base. Just you got to be able to jump and land without injury. What a feeling that is. You hit a ball hard. You're going back to the dugout. You think, I hit the ball hard. Now that's what I'm supposed to do. Hit it hard. And then you get in the dugout. You sit down and say, darn. It's an out. Well, maybe you don't say darn.
2-0 to Jermaine Allensworth. Well, Mike Piazza heard a few boos earlier tonight, but after the home run, everybody was on their feet, and he even gave a modified curtain call.
We haven't seen that in a while here at Shea Stadium, a curtain call. Reminds you of when Mickey Mantle played in New York and the fans would boo him, and you know, in the middle, in the early part of his career, and he'd hit one, and the fans would be on their feet. They'd be giving him a standing ovation.
3-1 to Allensworth. Whether or not Mike Piazza stays here is immaterial at this point. What he's got to do if he plans to either stay here or play in another market like this, Allensworth bounces it foul, because really Los Angeles was not and is not as passionate a sports town as New York or Chicago or his hometown Philadelphia. He's got to learn to accept the fact that he's going to hear the stuff from time to time and to not let it bother him as it seems to have bothered him earlier this season.
Well, plus when you hit a home run like Piazza hit one there, and of course Hundley hits those long home runs, you hit it in New York, they hear about it around the world, not in L.A.
Tatis cuts it off and pulls McGuire off the bag. So Tatis, who robbed McRae, donates Allensworth, or donates to Allensworth, who becomes a base runner with 1 out.
Allensworth hits that ball off the plate. Pretty much an easy play for Tatis, and he throws the ball from down under where you won't get that true carry, and the ball had good movement, but you don't want movement. Ball tailing into the runner, and Allensworth is safe. Now, if you're pitching and you have that type of ball movement, you're happy, but you don't want to have it when you're a third baseman. You got to try to come over the top and get that true carry on the ball.
Allensworth, a threat to steal by Erga. A sacrifice fly to right his first time up as he takes strike 1. So Carlos looking down at Cookie Rojas to see if the hit and run might be on here. Mets trailing by 1. Allensworth, excellent speed at first. Tatis was, of course, charged with an error. And Allensworth draws the attention. And the 0-1 rip, and just missed going into the Cardinal dugout, or perhaps taking a piece of one of those two fellas without ever making it all the way in. Well, I know DeShields probably in surrender mode right about now. He wasn't expecting that.
They gave him a glove. If you're going to sit there, protect yourself.
Baerga does it again. The mask will come out. Looked like DeShields was ready to call the pitch, too.
Yeah, you don't want to sit like that where you have no movement, because you better have good hands if they hit a bullet over there. He wants to frame it.
And a line drive foul. 0-2 to Baerga. Who was it? David Holtz, I guess, is a Texas Ranger batting from the left side, as DeShields does. Once hit, I don't know how many, 8, 9 balls in a row, batting left-handed now, into the third base dugout, scattering players, eventually sending some of them down the runway, who figured, all right, their lives are in danger here. Let's let Holtz hit his way out of this. And after about 8 or 9 of those screaming fouls into the dugout, Holtz finally put it in play. Baerga fouls this one away. It's still 0-2. So the Mets have put up 2 here in the 4th inning on Piazza's home run to pull to within a run. 465 feet worth of home run from Mr. Piazza. Again, 0-2 to Baerga. Once more, Allensworth check back. That's now with 5 hits in the game. The Cardinals have 6. And the 0-2 to Baerga, in there for a called strike 3. So Carlos caught looking, 2 men away.
When you make good pitches on the corners, they're tough to hit. This is a tough pitch to react to. Right on the inside part of the plate. And Baerga knew there's a chance this is going to be called strike 3. Look where that ball is heading, right to that glove. Good pitch. Excellent pitch, inside part of the plate. If you give major league hitters pitches out over the plate and they get a good piece of the plate, then the hitter's going to take advantage of it.
Now with 2 out, Ray Ordonez. Ray 1 for 3 in the first game. Way outside. Nice stop by Eli Marrero. 1-0 on Ordonez. And again, Allensworth draws a throw. Allensworth with real good speed. Ordonez at the plate, the number 8 hitter.
And those signs to throw to first are coming from that dugout.
That's line foul, and Allensworth had been leaning back towards the bag as Oliver came home with that pitch.
It's safe to say that Tony La Russa would micromanage.
He has.
He's been very successful doing it.
One ball, 1 strike to Ordonez with 2 out. Allensworth again measuring his lead. Not running, and the pitch taken inside. 2 balls and a strike.
See La Russa giving those signs. Now that's micromanaging. And it takes the heat off the catcher, because when they want you to throw to first, you just tell the pitcher, throw over there.
Fouled straight back, 2-2. So if you're a catcher, micromanaging is good because you're off the hook.
Absolutely. And when you call that pitch out, or you tell a pitcher to throw to first base, and a pitcher complains, you say, he did it. Pitchers don't complain if it comes to the manager. I've seen pitchers shake off signs where you want a guy to throw to first, or shake off a pitch out.
So again, it'll be a 2-2 to Ordonez. Now Allensworth running. Tatis with a long throw. Low. And McGuire with a good pick, and a great job by Ordonez getting down the line. Ray almost beat that play out, but the side retired. The Mets tack on 2 to creep to within 1. Mike Piazza with a huge home run. Here's 465 feet worth of Piazza long ball. It's now 4-3 St. Louis.
Sooner or later, a Mazda's gonna move you. We just thought we'd speed up the process. It's Mazda's Make Your Move clearance event. Get 0.9% APR financing on thousands of new Mazdas or cash back on Mazda Millennia or Mazda MPV. Call or visit our website for details. See your Mazda dealer and make your move today.
I want boom, dot, boom, boom. Why do you want to look at my Discover card statement? It's mine. I live in New York City. Of course, I love the theater. Bring in the noise. You know, it's my favorite show. I go there as often as I can, trying to steal another step. And my kids want me to be more risky. Come to Garçon stuff is, you know, it's risky. I want a cashback bonus.
How many credit cards make a statement like that? It pays to Discover. Accepted where you see the Nova sign.
I believe in the 98 Mets.
Show up at Shea on Sunday, August 23rd for Gap Growth Chart Day. All kids will get a 6-foot growth chart poster featuring Todd Hundley and his daughter Heather, courtesy of the Gap. Be here when the Mets take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. For tickets, call 718-507-TIXX.
Show up at Shea for Gap Growth Chart Day.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you in part by Discover Card. It pays to Discover. Accepted where you see the Nova sign. At Shea Stadium in New York, Howie Rose, Fran Healy, Matt Lachlan, where the Mets are trailing the Cardinals 4-3 as we go to the 5th inning. In Game 2, the Cardinals won the opener 2-0. McGuire's hit 2, 1 in the first game, 1 in this one. So Mark McGuire now 51 home runs on the year. Rick Reed's been in there all the way, as has Darren Oliver for the St. Louis Cardinals. And as we go to the 5th, here's Fran.
All right, Howie. Pat Kelly will lead it off for the Cardinals. We'll see Mark McGuire here in the 5th inning. Kelly in his ball game struck out and lined out, so he's 0 for 2. There's the hook. It's up high. Ball 1. Pat Kelly, who did not start in the first game, is playing second base in the second game. Delino DeShields has the second game off. And the 1-0 pitch to Kelly. He bunts to the right side, and Reed flips to Olerud. Nice play.
Rick Reed was just sprawled on his back for just a moment in relief of having been able to make the play and throw out Kelly. Well, Rick's really shown his emotions tonight. Remember, Brian Jordan lined one right back at him, and he had to take a deep breath, and then he gave up a home run to McGuire. This is a little less tense and strenuous, as Kelly was hoping to push it past Reed, who stayed with it, and he lost his balance but made the play.
And the batter now, Brian Jordan. Jordan hit a home run in this game, and he takes down low, ball 1. It's 4-3. The Cardinals on top of the Mets. 6 hits in this game for St. Louis, 5 for New York. Reed's 1-0 pitch, down low, 2-0. The history in St. Louis is unbelievable as far as baseball is concerned. The historic moment is owned by Mark McGuire. There's a strike, 2-1. As far as a home run ball is concerned. The countdown to history. Brought to you by Mark McGuire as he works on timing Rick Reed. Fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. McGuire has a home run in this game. Home run number 51 on the year. He hit number 50 in the first game. Two balls, 2 strikes. Inside, 3-2. A huge crowd on hand here at Shea Stadium. McGuire looking out at Rick Reed. Reed knows his presence. He feels it as Jordan bounces to first. Olerud takes it himself. 2 down. And that'll bring to the plate the big guy, Mark McGuire.
We welcome those of you watching on Fox Sports Net as Mark McGuire steps in for his 3rd trip here in Game 2. He's homered, number 51, off the foul pole in the first inning. And single to left in the third.
So 2 men are out. Top of the 5th inning. McGuire going after number 52. Takes down low, ball 1. He hit number 50 in the first game. And here's number 51 in the first inning.
Straight down the line and off the foul pole.
He hit his 400th of his career off Rick Reed, and that's his 51st of the year right there. The 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed. I mean, flashballs all over Shea Stadium. A huge crowd on hand as McGuire continues the chase. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swung on and missed. Reed throws the heater by him in his wheelhouse.
Well, McGuire knew that pitch was up where he could hammer it, but Reed was able to get it past him.
1 ball and 2 strikes, and the fans here really respecting what Mark McGuire has been doing this year. They've been going wild here at Shea. 2-2 on McGuire.
Well, McGuire closing in on the all-time record now in the National League. Remember last year when he hit 58, they were split between Oakland and the American League and the Cardinals.
2-2 pitch. And McGuire takes 3-2 as Reed tries to hit the outside corner.
Mark McGuire gets that call. Barry McGuire probably doesn't. Remember him, Eve of Destruction?
Well, you're looking at Mark McGuire. 3-2 on the big first baseman. 51 home runs. The pitch up high, ball 4. It is amazing the flashbulbs going off here at Shea Stadium.
Well, Bob Apodaca, the Mets pitching coach, said last week as well as before this series they were going to go after McGuire. And that was the first time in this doubleheader that McGuire has walked. Remember, that's now 133 walks.
Take a look at the flashbulbs here at Shea Stadium.
Everybody wants a little piece of history. And at this point, every McGuire swing of the bat brings him one closer to the ultimate moment.
2 men out.
Potentially, anyhow.
Ray Langford, the batter, takes down low, ball 1. Well, the gentleman who caught the ball in the first game got an offer from the Cardinals that I guess he could refuse.
Well, Mark McGuire has said often he's not going to pay for any commemorative baseballs. You know, his 50th home run tonight or his 400th earlier this year.
Up high, 2-0.
Showed the fellow before. In fact, Matt Lachlan talked to him.
Well, he was mentioning that 10 grand. You know, he wasn't going to give up that ball for a ball and a bat.
McGuire's not going to reach into his pocket for anything monetary.
2-0 on Ray Langford. Inside, 3 balls and no strikes. When McGuire's in town, you almost forget there's a ball game. The Cardinals are leading the Mets 4-3, top of the 5th inning. There's a strike, 3-1. Big Mark McGuire, the story in baseball this year, along with Sammy Sosa in the National League, Ken Griffey Jr. in the American League. Ground ball to second base. This should do it for the Cardinals. They'll strand McGuire. They fail to score. We have a 4-3 ball game. The Cards are on top as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
Wow. It's what people are saying about our latest Kenmore refrigerator. Why? It's the one with a one-touch shelf that adjusts up or down with the twist of a knob. So you can make room for lavish layer cakes without unloading and reloading. Wow. Everyone says there's never been anything quite like it. Others say nothing at all. Instead, they just stand there and drool. Smart, stylish, simple. In a word, Kenmore, America's best-selling refrigerator brand.
No matter how high the thermometer climbs or how sticky the humidity gets, nothing will be hotter this summer than the deals you'll get during Jeep summer days. Like a 0 down $279 a month Cherokee lease with only $774 due at signing. with all this, including air conditioning at no extra charge. Or get a great price on Jeep Wrangler. But you'd better hurry in, because deals this incredibly hot are bound to cool down fast. Check out this $279 lease at your dealer.
With sports junkies, you can finally watch sports 24 hours a day and pass it off as research, because Fox Sports Net is introducing a new game show and they're looking for contestants. So if you've got mad sports knowledge, then get yourself set for the Ultimate Fan League. For contestant information, call 1-888-448-4UFL or send an email to foxufl@aol.com.
We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 4-3, the Cardinals on top of the Mets. He looks like he's going to be a manager someday. Probably in his forehead. What's going on here? Rick Reed, who's 0 for 1, just took a strike.
So that youngster has allowed the pitcher to hit.
Absolutely.
Only a 1-run game here in the 5th inning.
Darren, I should say Rick Reed takes a strike from Darren Oliver. It's 0-2. This guy continues to manage.
He's got that nervous look to him, too, you know?
He does.
Studious, observant.
He said, I'm hoping I'm making the right decision. Up high, 1-2.
He goes out and argues a call. We'll know we found a prodigy.
He was rubbing his forehead like, boy, there's a lot of pressure here. 1-2 pitch, down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 pitch. Rick Reed fouls it out of play. So we'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 pitch from Darren Oliver, and he throws it up high, so 3-2. Mets need a base runner. They need 1 to tie. And the 3-2 pitch right back to Oliver. Should be an easy play, and it is. 1 down.
So here's our Jeep game summary. Some prodigious long balls. Of course, McGuire's just hit the foul pole, but prodigious in number and significance. Polanco's 2-run single trapped by Tony Phillips, who thought he had it. Jordan with a solo home run, and Piazza drove in a pair with his 22nd.
And Tony Phillips, who's 1 for 2 in his game, takes a strike. So it's 0-1 on the Met left fielder. Phillips, 39 years old, 5 foot 10 inches, 175 pounds. Batting .284. He has scored 12 runs, and he takes that breaking ball for a strike. 0-2. Well, Darren Oliver is certainly a good-looking left-handed pitcher. No wonder the Cardinals went out after him in a trade. No balls and 2 strikes on Phillips. Up high, 1-2. Keep in mind, the Mets and the Cardinals will go at it again tonight or tomorrow night here at Shea Stadium. Another doubleheader. Seats still available. Then on Saturday, Beanie Baby Day against those Arizona Diamondbacks. They'll also play Sunday and Monday afternoon here at Shea. There's a Baltimore chop. Oliver flips to McGuire. 2 down.
And Darren Oliver took charge on that ball. Almost played it like an outfielder. Of course, it did have some hang time. But Oliver wanted to make sure that there were no defensive mix-ups such as we saw from the Colorado Rockies on the infield the other night. It's a chopper off the plate from Phillips, and the pitcher calls for it. He's just waving everybody off, telling them, I'll take care of it. And he did rather easily.
Yeah, that's a pitcher with confidence in his defensive ability. Mark McGwire, you see that first step, he was coming in.
Phillips just kind of waved him back to the bag to complete the play on Phillips.
So 2 men out, the batter Edgardo Alfonso, and he pulls it foul. Delino DeShields with that glove in his hand put it up, but he didn't need to use it over there by the Cardinal dugout.
Yeah, don't get too relaxed now, Delino.
Well, he's got the shin guard on also, at least a part of a shin guard.
Almost looks like he's got a shoulder pad there too.
It does. Down low to Alfonso, 1 ball and 1 strike.
DeShields a basketball guy, not a football guy.
He had
Villanova, Raleigh Massimino recruited him.
Full ride, up high, 2-1. And the Montreal Expos, Dan Duquette was a general manager at the time, told him he could go out and he could play basketball for Villanova during the offseason. He decided not to do it. He wanted to concentrate on baseball. And the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mets trailing by 1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Darren Oliver pitching to Alfonso. He pulls it hard but foul. You know, with everything that's been said about Mark McGwire, as you look at Delino DeShields, DeShields will react to this foul ball.
Now he can't look nervous here. He's got all his protective gear.
That was a reaction to a baseball. He's got a lot of confidence. Foul back. Now remains 2-2.
That's how we did a game last year at Tiger Stadium.
Yeah.
Booth in Detroit is so close to home plate that on Gary Cohen's instruction, the baseball mitt accompanied yours truly to Detroit.
You had the glove in the booth. That's why every time the ball comes towards the booth, everybody ducked. Ground ball to second base. Kelly to McGwire. And that'll do it for the Mets. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, they fail to score. As we go to the top of the 6th inning, we have a 4-3 ball game. Cards.
Having fun yet? Then get to the Summer of Fun and nobody beats the Wiz. Buy the fun stuff you want and get more fun stuff, like special offers, tickets to games, Madison Square Garden, Radio City Music Hall with select purchases. See newspaper for details. Nobody beats the Wiz, a Cablevision company.
Attention, kids. As you know, someday you will rule the world. To prepare, you will need school supplies from Office Depot. Glue, pencils, rulers, backpacks. Some children will shop at other stores, spending more and getting less. They will grow up to be your feeble-minded servants.
Office Depot, official school supply headquarters of the National PTA. More stuff, cooler stuff, guaranteed low prices on over 1,000 back-to-school items.
That is all you need to know. Go rule the world.
When the heat starts to bite, do you have what it takes to bite back? Gatorade Frost. Is it in you?
Hey, I'm Tiger Woods, and I got Fox Sports News in my bag.
Well, on Monday, the Mets will be back here on Fox Sports New York. They will close out a weekend series against the Arizona Diamondbacks, featuring former Met Bernard Gilkey. That'll be a 1:30 start from Shea. And then the Mets head west Tuesday night at 10. Wild card contenders San Francisco with Barry Bonds and New York get together. It's all coming up on Fox Sports New York, so check your local listings.
Well, on Fox Sports New York, you're watching the Cardinals and the Mets, the second game of this doubleheader. Tomorrow night, another doubleheader. Catch all that action on Channel 9 here in New York. Right now, John Mayberry steps in to face Rick Reed, and he hits the ball right off his foot.
Now, we've seen a few of those in this series. Not so much this series, but the homestand last night against the Colorado Rockies. Well, there were a couple of balls fouled off home. And right here, Mabry, who was not wearing any outer protection on either shin, now forced to maybe rethink that.
Piazza hammered a ball off his left leg last night. He wore some protection. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Mabry fouls it back. It's 0-2.
I guess anybody who's caught as much as Piazza and the other regular catchers around baseball have are going to be in some big time pain by this time of year. But with all the balls that get fouled off of their masks and other unexposed parts of their bodies.
The 0-2 pitch to John Mabry. Outside, 1-2.
Well, what was the worst non-exposed or non-protected part? Like right above the shin guard? Is that the most painful?
Yes. You know what happens is you have the although the newer shin guards, I don't know if they have that break, but you can get hammered in that area where you have the break with the foul ball. You can be in a lot of pain. You want to know the most painful protected area I ever get hit in?
Okay.
You don't want to know. It broke the cup. 2-2 on John Mabry. Fouled back. I mean, I admire these guys that can get behind the plate and hit home runs, because you know they've been hit all over their body, protected and unprotected. Two and two, John Mabry. Hard hit ball, and I'll tell you, Olerud, nice reaction to that hop.
So one out here in the sixth. John Olerud.
What's this?
Easy play.
I guess it was.
Nothing fancy about it. Just hard hit, one hopper. Make sure to show up at Shea on Saturday for Ty Beanie Baby Day. All kids 14 and under will get Curly the Beanie Baby free. So be here as the Mets face the Diamondbacks. For tickets, call 718-507-TIXX.
Nice curveball from Rick Reed to Fernando Tatis. I like the way you dismissed that tricky hop. You don't think it was tricky?
Well, not for a guy who's wearing a helmet. As long as we were talking about all the protective devices.
0-1 on Tatis. Another breaking ball, but this one is called a ball. 1-1.
Tell you what, somebody on the Rockies, I forget who now, scorched a one hopper that John Olerud appeared to have line up, and it took a wicked hop over his shoulder, almost nicked him in the chin. That was a bad hop. This was a mere bag of shells.
There's a strike. 1-2. Never takes a bad hop when you're up here. Down there, they take some nasty hops.
Anytime you have to take the elevator to get to your seat, it's a lot easier. Steps to the dugout are much more difficult than elevators to the broadcast booth.
Well put. And sometimes we forget it. 2-2 on Tatis. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Tatis, 23 years old, and Tony La Russa very happy to have him in his lineup. Down low, 3-2. Full count on Tatis. Nasty pitch. That's a nasty 3-2 pitch, and Tatis goes down on strikes. 2 outs.
8 strikeouts now for Rick Reed. He has not allowed a hit since McGuire's single, which came after Jordan's 3rd inning homer.
Yeah, the Cards have 6 hits and 4 runs, and here's that last pitch. The Mets have 5 hits and 3 runs. He wasn't taking any chances. And the K's are being recorded.
8 of them up so far for Reed.
Rick Reed misses right there on the catcher for the Cardinals.
He's closing in on his career high. His strikeout high was set in that game against Tampa where he flirted with a perfect game in June. He struck out 10 that night.
Eli Marrero takes down low. 2-0. Marrero, 24 years old. And we'll see a lot of action before his career is over. A real solid minor league career. On the corner for a strike, 2-1. Nice breaking ball.
Well, Reed has settled down nicely since giving up all 4 runs through the first 3 innings.
In a 2-1 pitch. Fly ball to center field. Easy play for Brian McRae, and that'll do it for the Cardinals. Here in the top of the 6th. They fail to score as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Shea. It's St. Louis 4, New York 3.
John Lithgow performs the Discover Card Dial-Along song.
An extemporaneous piece.
Provided for your dialing pleasure while you call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2 and apply for your Discover Card, the card with the cashback bonus award that always pays you back.
That was a nice surprise.
And that's music to everyone's ears. It pays to Discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
This could be my lucky day.
Right.
Scratchers. It's not whether you win or lose. It's how you play the game.
Winner. $5, Walter.
Believe in the '98 Mets. Show up at Shea on Saturday, August 22nd for Ty Beanie Baby Day. All kids 14 and under will get Curly the Beanie Baby free. Curly comes with his own commemorative card, making this Curly a very special Beanie Baby. Don't miss the action as the Mets meet the Arizona Diamondbacks. For tickets, call 718-507-TIXX. That's 718-507-TIXX.
It's time for the Coors Light Silver Bullet 6th. Jason Glickman from New Jersey is tonight's lucky fan, so if a Met homers this inning, Jason gets dinner for 2 at the All-Star Cafe.
And that shot right there is what Howie was talking about before. If you have to take the elevator to your seat, you don't have to worry about bad hops or sliders or fastballs.
In other words, it's a whole lot easier from that vantage point than it is from the playing field.
Huge crowd on hand once again at Shea Stadium as John Olerud steps in to face Darren Oliver. And our Aflac trivia question, John Olerud has 2 straight seasons of 150 hits. Who was the last Met to do the same? Kevin McReynolds. He was a good player. Olerud takes the ball, 1-0. Could Kevin McReynolds play left field as good as anybody?
And as well.
That's right. Out, no, on the corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 1 on John Olerud. Down low, 2-1.
You might be picking up a faint chant coming from beneath our broadcast booth. They're chanting Johnny Baseball, a play on Don Mattingly's old nickname. And there was a banner out here earlier today which saluted John Olerud in that exact term, Johnny Baseball. John batting at .351, leading the National League in hitting.
Fouled off. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and John Olerud.
Now this is without counting Mike Piazza's home run in this game. This is leading into this game with Olerud batting 3rd in front of Piazza. Remember, they were reversed for the first month or so after Piazza got here. It's really helped Olerud. It hasn't done much for Piazza.
Olerud taking strike 3. So Olerud going down on strikes, 1 out here in the 6th. And the reaction of Mike Piazza, who homered his last time up.
Might not be fair simply to call this a home run. This thing was an absolute blast. Piazza knew it. Everybody in the yard knew it. When it came down, it had cleared the back fence in the St. Louis bullpen, 465 feet away.
And he takes a strike from Darren Oliver. Oliver has allowed 5 net hits, 3 runs. The Cards have a 4-3 lead. And the 0-1 pitch is down low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mike Piazza is 6'3", 215 pounds. He is recording Mike Piazza's at bat. And there's the old Baltimore chop. Scored 6-3, 2 down. So Piazza hitting a long home run in his next at bat, bouncing out to shortstop. Is he a good cameraman? Did he have everything recorded?
Question is, how much tape or film does he have, and is he going to keep it? I mean, a ground ball to short's ground ball to short.
Now, can you be accurate from, I mean, don't you have to keep that next to your eye?
No, those new cameras are great. You see that thing sticking out the left side of it?
As Brian McRae hits a high fly ball to center field, Ray Langford making the grab, and that'll do it for the Mets here in the 5th. 3 up, 3 down. After 6 complete, it's 4-3 Cardinals.
Where were you on August 1st, 1998?
Matt Franco is batting for Ray Ordonez. And he hits it deep to right field. If it's fair, we're tied. And this game is tied. A home run for Matt Franco. And the 0-2 pitch in the air towards the gap. Hubbard over. He can't get it. Huntley on his way to third. He's being waved home. The Mets are going to win. Mets win. Mets win.
You don't get in this kind of shape running on a treadmill. You do it with strength exercise, and I do it with the Bowflex. You know, if you're not working out with strength training right now, you need to. Because if you want to lose weight, you got to add the muscle, and that's why you need a Bowflex machine. It's like nothing else you've ever tried before. We've got over 60 exercises you can do on a Bowflex. You're never going to get bored. You can do a full workout in 20 minutes on a Bowflex machine. You're not going to believe how effective Bowflex is the first time you get on it. Bowflex may look a little different, but that's because we designed it to function correctly. Bowflex uses power rod resistance. Bowflex power rods are so effective that Bowflex guarantees results in 6 weeks or your money back. Try going to the gym and getting a guarantee on results. You won't find it. If you call and get our free videotape, you're going to see an effective workout and see how easy and quick and fun working out with Bowflex is.
Home team's Fox attitude. You're watching Fox Sports New York.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you in part by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
Well, full house here at Shea Stadium. Second game of a doubleheader. Mets losing the first, and they are trailing by 1 here in the second. Mark McGwire with home run number 50 in the first game, number 51 in the second game. And now sliding back in with the play-by-play, Howie Rose.
All right, Fran, so the Cardinals with a 1-run lead as they look for a sweep of this doubleheader. Remember, the Mets just swept a doubleheader from the Colorado Rockies. That's 4 doubleheader wins on the year. They lost a doubleheader in San Diego back in May. They have not split yet. It's only the second doubleheader of the year for the Cardinals. They split their first one. One ball, 1 strike to Darren Oliver. Oliver, Placido, Polanco, and Pat Kelly scheduled up for the Cardinals here in the 7th inning. Weakly hit into the Cardinal dugout. Now it's 1-2 on Oliver. And McGwire will provide another souvenir. This time, wonder if that fella knows it came out of McGwire's hands. I'll bet you he doesn't. Happy to have it. but McGuire barely was visible when he stood up. Oliver down on strikes. That's 9 strikeouts now for Rick Reed, 1 fewer than his career high, which was set earlier this season against Tampa Bay.
And that pitch to Oliver. Oliver taking some nice rips tonight, but he has struck out all 3 times.
Yeah, but he looked good doing it. So the K corner puts up number 9 on the night. This is a very meticulous operation this guy's got here. Polanco fouls it off. No ball. It's 1 strike to a guy who's had maybe the biggest hit of the game so far.
Yeah, and Tony Phillips thought he caught this ball, or did he think it? Was this out of Actors Studio as Phillips traps the ball and 2-run score? There were 2 outs, so the runners were moving on the batted ball.
That made it a 3-0 Cardinal lead in the 2nd inning. The Mets got 1 back in the 2nd. Cardinals added a run in the 3rd. Piazza hit the 2-run homer in the 4th to bring the Mets to where they are now, trailing 4-3. The 0-2 to Polanco, and the breaking ball just missed outside. Bobby Valentine has seen deep outings by his starting pitchers across the board this week. Willie Blair pitched 7 very good innings until giving up those back-to-back home runs in the opener. Might have broken his bat. Now Alfonso with a long throw, and Olerud hangs with it.
Yeah, that was not an easy play for John Olerud. It's one of those tricky hops. And this is a nice play as Alfonso goes to his right, and across the infield the ball goes. And Olerud makes the play on the other end of this bounce ball. Nice play.
You think it affects an infielder at all? I mean, you know, it's not like Alfonso's had a whole lot of business. In fact, this is his first assist in this game. Pat Kelly coming up, and he takes a strike. But, you know, Alfonso played the opener, so he's played, what is this now? He's into his 16th inning of baseball. Do you think the throw, even without being tested a lot tonight, has a little less giddy up on it in the, say, 16th inning than it did at 5:10 almost 5 hours ago?
No.
Just ask. That's why you're here. And that beach ball is on the field.
Having fun yet? That's the whiz sign out there behind that beach ball.
Fans might have enjoyed some of the history in seeing McGuire hit number 50 to become the first to do it 3 years in a row, but they won't have any real fun, at least not among the contingent of Met fans here, unless they gain a split. McGuire in the hole there. Jordan is on deck. 0-2 to Kelly. Just high. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. This sure looked like strikeout number 10.
It's the breaking ball, and it's pretty much a hanging breaking ball. Kelly takes it, and it's called the ball.
So the hanging breaking ball taken, and now time taken for a rolling beach ball.
We talked about what the fans would want here at Shea. They would like a Met win and a McGuire home run. And those signs tell the story.
Well, they got 2 from McGuire, but nothing from the Mets yet in the win column. Cardinals won the opener, if you're just joining us, 2-0. Donovan Osborne and Juan Acevedo combining to shut the Mets out on 4 hits. Cardinals only had 3 hits. 2 of them were solo homers, back-to-back. Jordan and McGuire. And after Reed was ahead of Kelly 0-2, he's run it full now. And he wants to get Kelly badly here because Jordan and then McGuire are the scheduled Cardinal hitters. It's a 1-run lead, 4-3 St. Louis. 2 outs in the 7th. Right back at Reed. Can he get him? He has time. So twice tonight the Cardinals have shot line drives right back at Reed. He grabbed one from Jordan on the fly in the 1st inning, knocked this one down, hung in, and completes the play on Kelly. So it's time to stretch here in Flushing. The Mets are down a run.
Hello?
Susan, it's Fred.
Hi. Are we still on for tonight?
Indeed. I have reservations at Chez Joseph.
Really? That place is always booked.
Well, Shay's a personal friend of mine. Pick you up at 7.
Okay. So, do you look as good as you sound?
OmniPoint, 100% digital, 0% hassle. Get a $179 Ericsson 388, the latest in digital wireless, for $49.
Attention, kids. As you know, someday you will rule the world. To prepare, you will need school supplies from Office Depot. Glue, pencils, rulers, backpacks. Some children will shop at other stores, spending more and getting less. They will grow up to be your feeble-minded servants.
Office Depot, official school supply headquarters of the National PTA. More stuff, cooler stuff, guaranteed low prices on over 1,000 back-to-school items.
That is all you need to know. Go rule the world.
Summer means clearance at your Chrysler and Plymouth dealer. Clearance means big factory authorized cash back. Get 1,000 cash back on Chrysler Sebring Coupe and get low lease rates on Sebring Convertible. Clearance means bigger cash back. Get 1,500 cash back on Chrysler Cirrus, ranked best entry midsize car in initial quality by J.D. Power and Associates. Or get 1,500 cash back on Plymouth Neon. Summer means clearance. Clearance means savings at your Chrysler and Plymouth dealer.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you in part by Gillette Mach 3, the first triple blade razor. Last of the 7th inning. Midtown Manhattan, I don't know, what, about 12 miles or so from Shea Stadium, tops. And the Mets just a run from the St. Louis Cardinals here in Game 2. 4-3 St. Louis. Jermaine Allensworth, Carlos Baerga, and Ray Ordonez. The batters for New York.
Great shot in Manhattan. No traffic, take you 15, 20 minutes. With traffic, 3.5 hours.
Yeah. Not much in between.
Oh.
Darren Oliver's allowed only 5 hits, and he throws ball 1 to Allensworth, who singled, was caught stealing. That was in the 2nd inning, and then he reached on an error. Look at that, it's moving. And that's natural speed, too. We did not speed that up. Bouncing ball, fair, past Tatis. Allensworth on his way to 2nd. Mabry up with the ball. Jermaine Allensworth has a leadoff double here in the 7th. And the tying run is in scoring position.
Jermaine Allensworth hitting the ball right down the line. Tatis diving and just missing that ball. Allensworth with real good speed beating Mabry's throw to 2nd base. Right out of the chute. He said, I got a double. He hustles into 2nd base and beats the throw.
So Allensworth at 2nd, Carlos Baerga the batter. Baerga drove in a run with a sacrifice fly and struck out. Takes the fastball, 0-1. And again, worth noting here, Baerga batting from his weaker side, which could influence whether or not he's asked to move Allensworth up here. Tatis at 3rd, even with the bag. You saw the shortstop Polanco trying to keep Allensworth close. He does show bunt, but pulls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike now on Baerga. It's trying to get this one tied up. And of course, ultimately go ahead and get a split in this doubleheader, with the Cubs having won their game this afternoon. Rick Reed was trailing in the game 4-1. Settled down beautifully after the 3rd inning. Piazza got him 2 closer with a homer. And the 1-1 in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike on Baerga. Tony La Russa has the bullpen going. It's Darren Oliver into the 7th inning here. John Frascatori, local native from the island, Oceanside, CW Post. He's getting loose. Two and 1 to Baerga. That'll freeze Allensworth. Polanco gets Baerga by a step. And Carlos fails to get Allensworth over to 3rd. 1 man away.
Well, a situation like this is when Carlos Baega's at the plate, he's got to do everything in his power this late in the ball game to move that runner along. You see Bobby Valentine's reaction when they didn't get the runner over. You don't see Bobby very demonstrative if he's unhappy with one of his players.
Line drive by Ordonez. That's going to be a base hit, and this game is tied. Allensworth comes home to score. Ordonez pulls in at second with a double. The Mets have tied it at 4. And Bobby's mood has changed almost instantaneously. Rick Reed now off the hook. And if the Mets can push the go-ahead run through here, Reed would be the winning pitcher, or at least stand to win.
Well, Dave Duncan, I'm sure, talking to the bullpen, finding out if they're ready in the pin. So a big hit by Ray Ordonez.
16th two-base hit of the year for Ray.
Getting the head of the bat out there, hitting the ball towards the end of the bat into left field. And driving in the tying run. So Ray Ordonez with a key hit in the second game of this doubleheader. He represents the go-ahead run now.
33 RBIs for Ordonez. And some aggravation for Tony La Russa. Luis Lopez will be hitting for Rick Reed.
That's a takeoff of the whiz sign. Are we having fun yet?
Yeah, but wait a minute, look at the spelling there. Are we having fun or hanging fun?
That's okay. We know where he got it. That whiz sign in left field.
Threw an extra G in there.
The Mets will have fun if they win this ball game.
So here's Lopez batting for Reed. And Darren Oliver throws ball 1. So Rick Reed went 7. Gave up 4 runs on 6 hits. Cannot lose this game. Mets in position to get him on the winning side if they can get this run in from second and then hold on. Bouncing ball, nice grab. Tatis can't hold on. Mets have runners at the corners. Fernando Tatis has certainly shown excellent range in this game, and he's made some outstanding diving stops. But this time he's unable to hold on, and now the Mets have the go-ahead run at third.
So Luis Lopez making contact, and Tatis got to hold on to that ball. Tatis does a lot of diving and makes some nice stops diving. Right there. Did he have to dive for this ball? Look at his first reaction is to dive. He really didn't have to dive for that ball. A lot easier for him if he doesn't dive. We talked about fielding the ball one-handed. And that would have been an example of fielding one-handed would have helped him out without the dive.
So Reed may come away with his 15th victory after all. Darren Oliver certainly cannot win this game as he is headed to the Cardinal clubhouse. Tony La Russa will bring in John Frascatore, the right-hander. The Mets with runners at the corners as Frascatore answers the omnipoint call to the bullpen. It comes with 1 out in the 7th inning of a 4-4 game. Don't go away.
Hello?
Susan, it's Fred.
Hi. Are we still on for tonight?
Indeed. I have reservations at Chez Joseph.
Really? That place is always booked.
Well, Shay's a personal friend of mine. Pick you up at 7.
Okay. So, do you look as good as you sound?
OmniPoint, 100% digital, 0% hassle. Get $179 Ericsson 388, the latest in digital wireless, for $49.
All right, bring it in here, guys. Huddle up. Now listen up, fellas. We got a full house out there. They can't get to the Rockies, so let's bring the Rockies to them. Right. We got the coldest beer around. With frost-brewed Coors Light and trays, there's no reason we shouldn't have a great day. Now, what do they want? Coors Light. What do we got? Coors Light. What? Coors Light. I can't hear you. Coors Light. Get ready.
Oh, that's the fire in my brain. stabbing me. Agony. I can't stand this torture, this torment. I can't stand it. I won't. I won't. I won't.
Call Tri-State at 1-800-JOIN-NOW.
Following Thursday baseball, that's the game that follows this one, the game between Detroit and Anaheim. Make sure to stay tuned for Fox Sports News. Bernie Williams, the one to watch for Fox Sports News tonight. Of course, we'll get to the latest on the home run chase, which you're watching close up here. And Steve Sachs will examine it all through the Fox scope. So the Mets, who trailed 4-1, have tied it at 4, much to the delight of those people.
He's got all the moves. The Mets have runners on the corners now with 1 out. And Tony Phillips will be the batter. Well, Bobby Valentine put Luis Lopez in motion.
So Darren Oliver done for the night. To this point, he's given up 4 runs on 8 hits, 3 of the hits coming in this inning. And Frascatore now makes his 58th appearance. That's tops on the Cardinals staff. Tony Phillips 1 for 3 in this game. And a bouncer to the right side. Dashing to the plate is Ordonez. The Mets have taken the lead. Phillips grounds out, but that's a productive out. Rick Reed now has a chance to win this game. 5-4, New York.
Well, Tony Phillips had to put the ball in play someplace. He put it in play, and the Mets take the lead. Not only that, but on that ball, Luis Lopez gets in the scoring position.
We use the term so much, productive outs. For example, Carlos Baerga was in a position to provide a productive out with Allensworth at second, nobody out. He did not. Pulled it to the shortstop. Allensworth stayed put, but then Ordonez doubled. Lopez an infield hit. Phillips the infield out to put the Mets on top. Now Alfonso looks at a strike. It's 1-1. So the Mets trying to gain a split here in this twilight doubleheader. Piazza with a 2-run home run, his 22nd of the year. That made it 4-3 back in the 4th inning. And a liner right to Polanco. So the side retired, but not before the Mets do some business. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 man left. Oliver can't win it. Reed can.
They say the game these days is all about money. Well, not for the beer man. For the beer man, it's still about passion. When I crack open a cold Coors Light, I give 110%. Just like those guys in the Rockies. And when a fan shouts, "Hey, beer man!" that frost brew refreshment is delivered like an inside fastball. No, it's not about money. It's about exercise. I gotta drop some pounds.
Coors Light! Get your Coors Light here!
I believe in wins.
Show up at Shea on Sunday, September 6th for Backpack Day, sponsored by the new 1999 Mercury Cougar. All kids will get a free backpack, perfect for back to school.
What a bonus.
Be here when the Mets battle the Atlanta Braves. For tickets, call 718-507-TIXX. That's 718-507-TIXX.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you in part by the Dime, the bank that's with you all the way. You've seen plenty if you've been with us all the way tonight. A couple of home runs by McGuire, 1 in each game. Cardinals won the opener. They led the nightcap 4-1, but the Mets have come back to take a 5-4 lead, scoring twice in the last of the 7th. And now Turk Wendell will try and at the very least hold it for an inning. You would imagine the plan is Wendell in the 8th and Franco in the 9th. Now, remember, there's another double dip here with the Cardinals tomorrow night. And the first 600 fans with a Pepsi can or bottle get into the Pepsi picnic area free. That's the promotion that lasts all season on Friday nights. But how about that one tomorrow night? Doubleheader with McGuire and the Cardinals, and you can see it all for free right there with a Pepsi can or bottle. So Turk Wendell faces Brian Jordan and hits the inside corner at the knees. 0-1.
Well, Wendell has certainly come on. We've talked about that trade. The Cubs and the Mets last year. And look at those stats. 4-0, 2.94 ERA. He's pitched in 43 ball games. He has 1 save.
0-2 as he gets the slider past Jordan.
Now he's had success in St. Louis against McGuire, throwing him all sliders.
McGuire knows it. He's waiting on deck. No balls, 2 strikes to Brian Jordan. Remember, Jordan has had homers in each game of this doubleheader. And the 0-2 to Jordan. A slider that missed. That's been his bread and butter pitch. And because it's been so good, he's gotten the right-handers out consistently. Really, he's handled the right-handers well all year, but certainly better over the last couple of months.
We mentioned how many sliders he threw to McGuire. Now, earlier in the game, we were talking about how Tony La Russa said McGuire learns from his past at-bats. We'll see if McGuire looks for that slider tonight from Wendell.
Right-handers hitting just .215 against Turk. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jordan. Popped up and playable in the infield. Ordonez squeezes it for the first out.
Remember, La Russa said
and we welcome those of you watching on Fox Sports Net. Keeping an eye on Baseball Thursday. Mark McGuire, 51 homers now. He hit number 50 in the opener, number 51 here in game 2.
And he struck out twice against Wendell last week in St. Louis. All sliders.
And he fouls that slider away to the right side. Olerud hopeful, but no play.
You're going to take a look at the 2 strikeouts from the games last week in St. Louis. Wendell striking McGuire out in a slider that he usually calibers. And the following night, another slider. Those are the 2 strikeouts. Tony La Russa told us earlier tonight, the big thing is McGuire has learned from past at-bats. He's different today because of his maturity than he was as a kid with the open A's. See if he hits that slider.
Wendell was lamenting, even in all the success he had last week, a couple of sliders that he hung that McGuire missed. Here he's ahead of them 0-1. Why not extend the drama just a little bit? Turk's got that showbiz feel for him, and obviously so did Mark McGuire with 2 homers tonight. And the 0-1 on the inside corner.
That was a backup slider. And that last pitch. McGuire looking out over the plate. 2 sliders now.
These aren't the only people on their feet. Most of the ballpark standing. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The Mets leading 5-4 here in the 8th. One ball, 2 strikes.
Well, another slider. Will he say, maybe I could sneak the fastball by him?
Well, his slider is clearly his best pitch. You would think if he's going to get beat with it, that's the one to get beat with. But how many will McGuire have to see?
Well, he's got 2 strikes, so he cannot look for a pitch. He's got to sit on the fastball, but he's so strong.
Oh, 1-2 to McGuire. Now the breaking ball off.
He likes his breaking ball. And he's been very effective lately.
The Mets have attacked McGuire tonight. That's what Bob Apodaca, the Mets pitching coach, said they would do last week in St. Louis. McGuire in the first game had a home run in 4 trips, put it in play all 4 times. He's walked once in this game. And the 1-2. Got him with a breaking ball.
These fans have gone nuts when he hit a home run, and they're going crazy when he strikes out.
So 2 out, nobody on now in the 8th inning.
Well, I don't think Turk Wendell's thrown McGuire anything but a slider in 3 at-bats.
And he has struck him out all 3 times. Now he goes after a left-hand batter, Ray Langford.
And that slider to McGuire to strike him out. He struck out, the fans went crazy, now they're leaving.
Now, wait a minute. Now, hold on here. It's 5-4. The Mets are leading. Yeah, the McGuire stuff's been fun, but hey, wait, get back here, will you? There's a wild card race going on. Well, it's been a long day. Doubleheader started at 5:10.
Well, they got to see 2 home runs off the bat of Mark McGuire. 50 and 51. He was more excited about number 50. Or at least he showed more excitement.
Well, McGuire's certainly catching everybody's attention here.
There's that cameraman in the stands.
Bouncing ball. Wendell stays with it. Turk Wendell with a 1-2-3 8th, including a strikeout of Mark McGuire. Middle of the 8th inning at Shea in game 2. Although McGuire's homered twice, once in the opener and once in this game. Now it's the Mets, an inning away from a split.
Hi, I'd like to start getting home delivery of the Sunday New York Times.
Now you can enjoy Sunday even more by getting the New York Times delivered to your home every weekend. And when you call now, you'll get 50% off the regular home delivery price.
I enjoy waking up and having the Sunday New York Times waiting for me. I know it'll tell me things that I won't hear, read, or see anywhere else.
I get international and cultural news, and I get a jump on the week ahead.
Call now to order, and you'll get the book review, travel, arts and leisure, week in review, and the New York Times Magazine.
On Sunday mornings, we catch up on what we really love. She goes straight for arts and leisure. I check out the magazine.
So call now to enjoy the Sunday New York Times for 8 weeks with home delivery at 50% off.
Hi, I'd like to start getting the Sunday New York Times at home.
I think the only thing I enjoy more than doing the crossword puzzle is actually finishing it.
Call now, 1-800-496-2453, and get the Sunday New York Times delivered to your home every weekend.
For me, Sunday was made for the New York Times.
What you want is America's best-selling compact sport utility at a great price. What you need is Ford's factory authorized clearance, going on now at your Tri-State Quality Ford store. Because during Ford's factory authorized clearance, you can get low 1-9 financing on any '98 Ford Explorer, or lease an Explorer XLT for just $359 a month, or lease an Explorer Sport for just $299 a month. What you want is huge savings, and what you need is to hurry. Ford's factory authorized clearance ends soon. Visit your Tri-State Quality Ford store now.
Home team's Fox attitude. You're watching Fox Sports New York.
Last of the 8th inning, the Mets with a 5-4 lead. And they certainly hope McGuire has hit for the last time tonight, because Turk Wendell struck him out looking for the 2nd out in the 8th inning. So Turk has done it again. Worth mentioning, he didn't only get the right-handers out, Jordan and McGuire, but he got Langford on that hot comeback. So now it's Olerud to hit against the right-hander Frascatore. And he throws a slider low. Olerud batting at .350. Dante Bichette, the Colorado Rockies, at last look in their game. Colorado leading Montreal 4-3 in the 8th, 0 for 3, so he's batting .342. John with an 8-point lead into the National League batting race. Olerud, remember, won the American League batting crown in 1993 when he hit .363. All of these numbers brought to you by Continental Airlines, and they are up to the moment. And again, if you're into the Mets record, John Olerud 10 points ahead of Cleon Jones, who hit .340 to lead New York in their first World Championship back in 1969. League leaders brought to you by Continental. Their priorities are simple. They're yours. Fly ball, well hit, left field. Mabry, warning track, and he makes the catch. Olerud gave it a good ride the other way. One man out. Here's a guy who gave a baseball the longest ride it's had all night, McGuire included.
And Olerud driving the ball the other way. Mayberry turning and turning again and making the grab in front of the wall. As Howie said, the man who drove the ball tonight the furthest is at the plate.
465 feet for Mike Piazza. 2-run home run in the 4th inning. That was important because it really reawakened the crowd. Oh yeah, they'd reacted positively to McGuire's stuff, but that certainly isn't what a Met fan came here to see in the end. You know, McGuire home runs, all right, that's part of the package tonight, but you know, this 45,308 grouping is mostly comprised of Met fans. They were pretty quiet by the time Piazza came up in the 4th inning until he connected, so he got the crowd back into it.
And he got a curtain call after getting into the Met dugout.
Gave it kind of a modified curtain
just
call.
Practice.
Didn't come all the way out, didn't blow kisses to anybody. No fist pumping. Carter and Knight and those guys, they were doing that a decade ago. Piazza's more low-key, no doubt, from his time in California. But remember, he's an Eastern guy. Outside Philadelphia. 2-1 pitch. And he had another 465-foot rip.
He turns in that ball in a hurry, doesn't he? From the waist up.
Enormous strength is exhibited by his abilities to take it out of the park the other way. Hit hard, but Polanco, the shortstop's got it. And now there are 2 men away.
Well, we know you like your dodge. We know you like to drive your dodge. So here's our dodge drive of the game. The long home run off the bat of Mike Piazza. He said, I know it's gone. I want to watch it. Scorched that ball. That's our dodge drive of the game.
22nd home run of the year for Piazza. So Mike 1 for 4 here in game 2, 1 for 8 of the doubleheader. Frascatore and Marrero got together to see about Brian McRae, who's up next. So the Cardinals, who used 6 pitchers in Chicago yesterday, have been able to economize in this doubleheader. Frascatore only their 4th pitcher. In the opener, tremendous performance by Donovan Osborne, who shut the Mets out on 4 hits through 8 innings. Hey, from the looks of things, it's going to be Turk's game in the 9th inning rather than John Franco's. You want to look ahead, Mabry, left-hand batter, Tatis and Marrero, right-hand hitters, will be scheduled for the St. Louis Cardinals. (3-0) to McRae. That's a strike. 3-1. And a line drive. That'll be a base hit. Mabry cuts it off and holds McRae to a single, so Bryant's 2 for 4 in the game. And, you know, thinking ahead now to the 9th inning as the Mets, with 2 outs, try and build some insurance. Can understand Bobby Valentine's thinking and trying not to go with John Franco. Franco pitched an inning last night, and there's a doubleheader again tomorrow, as well as Wendell's pitched. I guess Bobby's figuring, let's see if we can squeeze Wendell through it. Remember, Turk wasn't needed last night after pitching both ends of the doubleheader on Tuesday.
See right now, if Lenny Harris takes the ball and allows Brian McRae to get into scoring position.
Lenny Harris batting for Jermaine Allensworth. Jermaine went 2 for 3.
McRae's a base steal.
Brian has 20 stolen bases on the year. Outside, 1-0 to Lenny Harris. His 20 stolen bases for McRae have him 9th in the National League. Way out in front. Piscatore showed a lot of arm there. It's 1-1 now to Lenny Harris. Piscatore had a CW post right up on 25A. That's what they call Northern Boulevard when you cross the city line.
Nothing like that insurance run. See if McRae can get to second base.
Fly ball well hit right center. Langford on the run to the warning track, and he hauls it in. Ray Langford, about as graceful a center fielder as there is in the game, tested by Lenny Harris. But Langford put it away, and Wendell will go out and try to save it now. No runs, 1 hit. We go to the 9th. Mets looking for a split.
Why did the human cross the road? To get to the chicken on the other side. Because it's Chicken Choice Days at McDonald's. And no one has hot, delicious chicken choices like our Chicken Selects, Crispy Chicken Sandwich, Grilled Chicken Sandwich, and Chicken McNuggets. So come choose your favorite chicken. And right now, with any chicken product, get a coupon for delicious breakfast deals. Did somebody say McDonald's?
You'll find it easy to get to.
But very hard to leave. It's the Mohegan Sun way.
We keep the line short and the action non-stop. It's the Mohegan Sun way.
Everybody wins at these tables. It's the Mohegan Sun way.
We'll make every visit one you'll remember. It's the Mohegan Sun way.
Exit 76 off I-95 in Connecticut. Like no place on earth. Come experience.
The Mohegan Sun way.
How many tires does it take to celebrate this man's 100th anniversary? Find out at Sears' Best of Michelin sale. Whatever you drive, get great prices on the Michelin tire that's right for you at Sears, your smart stop for tires and batteries.
Summer means clearance. Get big cash back savings or low financing on Plymouth Voyager, the lowest price minivan you can buy. See your nearby Chrysler and Plymouth dealer.
Fox Sports News. We are there. Weekdays 6 to 8.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you in part by your Tri-State Ford dealers. Expect more, get more. Let your Tri-State quality Ford dealers show you why there's more to afford. Well, Turk Wendell will not have to deal with Mark McGwire again in all likelihood, as John Mabry leads off the 9th inning for the Cardinals and takes ball 1. Mabry, Tatis, and Marrero for the Cardinals. Outside 2-0.
Dennis Cook throwing in the Met bullpen. So it's up to Wendell to shut the Cardinals down here in the 9th inning. 3 outs for a Mets win.
And the 2-0. Bounced foul. Turk picked up a save last week in Arizona. It was last Friday. Wendell's first save of this year. And his second save as a New York Met. Right here he's trying to protect it for Rick Reed. Get Reed his 15th win of the year. Wendell going to the bag, and Olerud gets it there. 1 man away in the 9th inning.
And the Delta schedule. We had 2 here tonight. Channel 9 has 2 tomorrow night. Don't forget Beanie Baby Day. That's Howie's favorite day.
Hey, Curly's going to be in the house Saturday.
Sunday, Channel 9. Monday, we're back at you, and it's an afternoon game here at Shea. Then Tuesday, the West Coast trip, San Francisco.
Well, Bobby Valentine with Turk Wendell on the mound will watch Delino DeShields pinch hit for the Cardinals. DeShields will bat for Fernando Tatis. So Wendell, who's gotten 2 straight left-handers, getting Langford out on a comebacker to win the 8th, and Mabry on the weakly hit ground ball to start the 9th, now goes after another left-hand hitter. Delino DeShields played the opener at second base, went 0 for 4. And the slider low. One and one to DeShields. If the Mets can win this and gain a split, they'll be a half game in front of the Cubs for the wild card, 1 full game in the loss column. Baerga. And there are 2 men away. So our Coors Light play of the day, testament, Fran, to the fact that sometimes it's the little things, even with the big boys doing all the power stuff tonight in both games.
And our Coors Light play of the day is an out, but a key out. Phillips driving in a run, moving a runner to second base. That's our Coors Light play of the game. And we've seen some home runs in these 2 games. McGuire and Piazza hit a Ruthian shot.
Eli Marrero takes the slider, 1-0. The Cardinals have not had a hit since the 3rd inning when McGuire singled following Jordan's home run. Wendell has retired all 5 that he's faced. The 1-0 pitch on the outside corner. Marrero singled and scored in the 2nd. And he stole a base, struck out, fly to center. 51 and McGuire belong together. 1 and 2 now. And they'll stand at Shea, including Jerry. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mets lead it 5-4 in the 9th. Put it in the books. Turk Wendell, 2 perfect innings of relief, picks up his 2nd save of the year. Maybe Jerry will want to make a sitcom out of it. McGuire hit 2, 1 in the opener, 1 in the nightcap. He's got 51, but Piazza.
Oh, yeah. This guy hit one 9 miles. Mike Piazza with a huge shot in a crucial situation here in the 2nd game. McGuire entertaining the fans in batting practice. In the 1st game, he hit number 50. In the 2nd game, 51. And Turk Wendell striking McGuire out for the 3rd time in 2 weeks. Here's that last out. Turk Wendell getting the strikeout. And the Mets win the 2nd game of this doubleheader. So the Mets splitting the doubleheader, and Wendell's reaction.
So Turk Wendell, who was a closer a couple of years ago in Chicago, gets the save here. Rick Reed has won his 15th game of the year. And again, Piazza with a 2-run homer, helping the Mets come back after trailing 4-1, much to the delight of Mr. Seinfeld.
You think he really liked Newman?
Well, he paid him.
What a Met fan. There were a lot of Met fans here tonight. This place was rocking.
So all in all, an enjoyable night for over 45,000 at Shea Stadium, most of whom would certainly rather have seen the Mets sweep, but under the circumstances, they saw 2 from McGuire. He needs 11 to break the record, 10 to tie Roger Maris. More importantly, as far as the Mets are concerned, though, they're a half game in front of the Cubs for the wild card, 1 game in the loss column. Remember, the Giants were beaten by the Cubs 7-3 earlier today. So the Mets win game 2, 5-4. as McGuire, Jordan, and Piazza all go deep. Darren Oliver takes the loss. That 7-9 record combined between Texas and St. Louis. Reed now 15-7 on the season. And again, if you missed game one, great pitchers duel between Donovan Osborne and Willie Blair. Homers back-to-back by Jordan and McGuire. In the 7th inning of that game, the difference is the Cardinals won it 2-0. So the Mets get a split and are still out in front for that wild card. We will see you next on Monday afternoon for the final game of the homestand when the Arizona Diamondbacks are here. Cannon Mets game time at 1 o'clock. Stay tuned now for Baseball Thursday as we join in progress the Tigers and the Angels from Edison Field in Anaheim. And then after that ball game, make sure to stay tuned for Fox Sports News right here on Fox Sports New York. Long day at Shea. McGuire right in the middle of it. And McGuire impressed. This was his 50th home run of the year. And he is the first player in the history of baseball to do that 3 consecutive seasons. With the flash bulbs a popping, he added number 51 to the nightcap off the foul pole. But the Mets made the comeback. They were down 4-1. They win it 5-4.
Outside electric construction crews and